Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
And today we're taking a look at Danger Park. I was telling the kids here, when I grew up, I kind of went to parks that were not quite as safe as the parks we have now. I don't think they're as dangerous as this park is. I don't think any park in the world is as dangerous as the park is in this game.
I hope not.
You literally swung some people across the park and they somehow survived.
That's true. Well, what this game is, it's one amusement park you're building together, a very dangerous park. You are trying to get as many people to come to your rides. You own some of the rides in the park. And stay there as long as possible without blowing up.
Yeah.
Or dying. Or running away. Or getting sick. It's a funny theme, actually. But let's see if the game's any good. Game, players are trying to get the most money. You're going to get the most money by having people come to your rides. So let me show you an example of a ride. So this is Lightning Madness. Lightning Madness has a danger type. There are 8 different types of danger here. This one happens to be electrical. But there's electrical, mechanical, vomit, flooding, trash, pests, grease, and gas. Something bad can happen before rolling. You add a lightning token to the ride with the most of the green symbols on it, etc. And if this ever gets destroyed, there's one exit here, but if it ever gets destroyed, we'll flip it over, and now the ride is closed and a new ride can be built. So players are going to each start with one ride. You're going to play some rides out here. You're going to put a ticket booth of your color to show that you have it, and each ride is going to start with 2 regular patrons on it. On a player's turn, they are going to take one of the 3 rides that's available. Now again, this is squeezed closer together than it might be, but you'll take the ride and you'll place the ride in the park somewhere adjacent to a ride that's already there. You'll then take a ticket booth of your color, put it on the ride, and you will add 2 people to that ride. At that point, you are going to start rolling for each of your rides. You'll also add a symbol type of the danger of that type. So this one's mechanical, so I'd add 1 of the mechanical type there. You're going to roll for each ride that you have. So let's say I roll for this. Let's say I have multiple rides, and so I would roll for this one first, then this one. You'll drop the ticket thing to show that you rolled for that. But you're going to roll an 8-sided die for each person on the ride. So this ride has 3 people on it, so I'm going to roll 3 dice. And I need to roll higher than the number of tokens on it here, so I'm fine. I rolled a 4, 4, and a 3. Nothing happens. Had I rolled a 2, then I would have done a failure. It says on a failure, I would have added 1 of these mechanical damages to the rides to the right and left because the ship hits both of those. Also, 1 of these people would leave. They would go down here or here, and then I would add another damage of that type to this ride. When a ride has 4 damages of the same type or 4 different types, then the ride is destroyed and everybody's going to leave, and you'll flip it over. Another ride can be built on top of it. When one of your rides is destroyed, you can take an insurance policy, a minor policy, damage insurance, or mess insurance in the future. And whenever any ride closes, you can turn these cards in to get money. Players are also going to be starting with a few major policies, and if you ever get whatever it says in the park, you can like if there's 10 sick meeples in the park, you can discard this to get $6. Speaking of that, there's a few special meeples in the game. Whenever you have 5 of the same person, you replace them with a group meeple. A group meeple is amazing, but because they're going to give you money at the end of your turn, you're going to get 1 money for each meeple that's on one of your rides. But if someone's forced to leave your ride, the group meeple leaves as a group, which can be really annoying. By the way, if meeples ever go off the board, they kind of start at the top and come in again. There's also sick meeples. Sick meeples can still give you money, but at the end of your turn, all your sick meeples are going to produce 1 vomit token, which counts as a token that could possibly destroy a ride. So, players are going to be taking this ride card, putting out and doing all that, but the other part of the game is they're going to take this card with them. The damage park improvement. So this, for example, is a fart bomb. Pick a ride. All the meeples on that ride except 1 become sick meeples. It was her! Or this one here, a broken tornado warning system. Swap the location of 2 rides. 2 meeples on each ride become sick. Or choose a ride. Add 1 damage token of your choice to that ride. And so whenever you take one of these, you're going to take the ride. You can pick any ride you want, but you also get the card. You'll resolve the card, place the ride, roll for all your people on all your rides, get money for people who are still on your rides. People come back in the park and you keep going. Now, whenever someone gets injured and has to be removed from the park, or a ride gets destroyed, you're going to move the incident marker 1 space. When it reaches 9, that signals the end of the game. Although if you're playing a 4-player game, you can go to 13 if you would like a longer one. You finish out the round, people count up their money. Whoever has the most money is the winner. The game comes with game trays, which fold up and put them on here. They're okay in this game. This is not the kind of game I thought needed game trays. I especially am not a big fan of this one because it's a place where you're supposed to put the money, but the money doesn't really fit in it properly. There's a whole bunch of money that doesn't go in there, so it's kind of weird. I don't mind that. But what I do like a lot are the rides themselves. Very flammable hayride. I mean, it's funny to see the names, and every single ride's different, but it's also funny then you flip it over when it's destroyed. Here's the Ferris wheel. Man, these rides are not good. The reflection misdirection. The methane inflated obstacle course. The Alpine slide of doom. I don't know, I got to kick the Nightmare Kids boat adventure. Turn it over and that's a real nightmare. So that's kind of humorous and fun. And the Danger Park improvement cards, by the way, all the cards are really good quality. You know, face painting slugs, they're really quite talented. Giant deadly umbrellas, run. I don't know, I like the Taco Tuesday, 1 batch keeps all year. So these are fun office heists. You'll be amazed what a family of 4 will do for quick passes. Anyhow, they're interesting. The meeples, the different colors. You have all these different tokens to show the different things, and they're just shaped differently, so you can tell them apart pretty easily. For the most part, I'm pretty. Other than the game trays, which is weird because I really like game trays, I'm pretty content and happy with the component quality. I think if there's one thing that we can all agree on for sure is that the theme of this game and the pictures and stuff are really funny.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I liked flipping over the cards to see how it would be destroyed.
Yeah. Oh, even if it's your own ride?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why would it matter?
Well, right. I mean, it's just all the cards being played, like, oh, people just got sick, and now they're running to this ride, and like, there's a flood of sick people on the board, and they all ran away from my ride. Now they're on Ruby's ride. It's not a gross game, or even I mean, on the park here, it does show some legs sticking out from underneath the ride. I mean, hopefully no one is dying in the park. They're just getting hurt and stuff. But it's silly and cartoony.
Yes.
I mean, even the rides are named things like the
Very flammable hayride.
instead of the wave pool, the grave pool. You know, things like that. There's just all kinds of.
There was a card like that.
Yeah. So we like the art. We like the theming of the game, right? What did you think about the game itself, where you took a ride and then you did some stuff and rolled dice? Ruby.
It was okay, more than like the best thing ever. I think the best part about it is just the theme itself, and that's what really wanted me to keep playing. If it was just depending on how the game played, I don't think I would play this again.
So what did you not like about the gameplay?
For the fact that there were like a million things you had to think about before you had to grab a card. Sometimes I just eventually gave up and grabbed a random one.
Right, because at the beginning you're grabbing a ride and a special card. So you have to think about the ride you want and the special card, and then where do you put that ride? And then when you roll for each ride, you have to check a lot of things. And then you have to roll for all your rides and check and see where do people go and check to see what happens and sometimes what happens on the rides next to it. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of work on each turn. What did you think?
I mean, same as Ruby. I thought it was okay. The theme was very funny. The gameplay was okay. The whole dice rolling thing, I feel like it's a bit too much luck, but I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, I like the fact you can get insurance and all that stuff.
Actually, I thought the insurance was kind of, I don't know.
it's
That
not
was kind of
very-
a boring mechanism. Like, oh, your ride blew up, so here's a card that will give you $3 in the future.
It's
Thanks.
not that much money, so
$3.
normally insurance isn't that useful though.
In real life, it's very useful.
Well, in real life,
definitely.
sure, but they're not going to give you $3 like this game.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. So I agree with Violet. The dice rolling is really lucky. At the beginning of the game, you just don't want to roll any ones. But on your very first turn, you could roll 2 ones. And you're already behind everybody else because everyone just ran off your ride. So, sometimes, okay, it's silly fun, and then the cards that you took are so take that. Like, oh, you like this ride? You have lots of people? We're switching owners. Or I made everyone leave your ride. The cards just, they were crazy and all kinds of crazy things would happen.
Yeah.
So for me, that was my biggest problem with the game. I don't mind the silly theme. In fact, I really love it. I don't even mind the silly factor of all these people running around from ride to ride. You know, it was funny. It's like big tsunami of people all running from one to the other.
And that one ride that could actually throw them across the park.
Oh yeah, we had was it a slingshot ride or whatever? It was like
Yeah.
throwing people across the park.
Like someone survived that, but can't survive vomit inside it. Right.
Well, vomit's pretty terrible. Have you smelled vomit? It's awful smelling.
Have you been flung across the park before and survived?
No. But the thing is, there's so much effort that goes into silly fun. I don't mind randomness like this, but it's take a card, do this, roll this, roll this, roll this, check this, do this, do this, do this, and a whole bunch of stuff on each person's turn. And it could have been done so much quicker and faster. It felt like the game was too complicated for how lucky and silly it was.
Yeah.
So what would you give the game rating?
A 6.5 probably. It was okay. Not the best game I've ever played.
But you liked it.
Yeah.
All right.
I would give it more of a 5, mostly because I like the theme, but the gameplay isn't that fun.
I agree. I'm also on a 5. I think the theme is fantastic. It just sounds fun. And we laughed a lot. We were constantly laughing at things. Even if, like, I think in the last game we played, your rides just always were crashing and burning. And everyone was leaving. And there was nothing Ruby could really do about it. And it was funny, but that doesn't mean it's a good game. We laughed a lot, but I don't know. And we had a fun time, but we can do that with any game. You know, well, not any game, but with most games. I just felt like there was not enough oomph behind it. Well, there you go. That's Danger Park. Maybe you do like that. Definitely if you went to one of these parks as a kid and survived, maybe this will bring back fond memories for you. Don't you wish you could go to these parks?
No.
Why not?
No.
These kids are spoiled. They get to go to Universal Studios. That's not like this park.
No.
Alrighty. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
Have fun playing games.